we don't have much unity. I don't know about what Ajay thinks.
I really appreciate when I come to know so many things that they stand together for each other and stand together as an industry, which honestly speaking we lack in the Bombay film industry or whatever you call it.
In a recent interaction with the Hindustan Times, Akshay Kumar and Ajay Devgan spoke about the lack of unity within the Hindi film industry. How over a period of time there seems to be innumerable differences and a clash of egos that is undercutting the larger picture of Bollywood growing together. This was said in sharp contrast to the Telugu film industry that seems to band together when targeted or something unsavory happens to one of their own. Most recently, this was the case when a politician, Konda Surekha, said something absolutely atrocious and awful regarding the cause of separation between Samantha and Nag Chaitanya. Many prominent figures vocalized their support for Samantha. However, it would be naive to believe that industries do not have chinks in their armor. You've got the Hema Committee findings in the Malayalam film industry, the Me Too movement in Hindi cinema where several popular celebrities were called out for their predatory ways. You've got actresses speaking about the uncomfortable and misogynistic environment while working in the Telugu film industry, a clash of egos and pettiness regarding copyright laws in Tamil cinema. You've got horrifying cases like that of Darshan from Kannada cinema. There is literally so much that is unearthed about the world beyond the glitz and glamour, making me think about several examples in which Indian celebrities have been either courageous enough to call out well-known figures in the industry for their terrible behavior off camera or have openly communicated their grievances about a public personality or the work that they do. These range from explosive exchanges that I thought was limited to the time when the PR of celebrities was not as invasive and controlling as it is today. But just seeing the number of conflicts arising in public spaces today across industries, it seems like there are remnants of the wild, wild west days of the past that are slowly creeping back in even today. The first thing that I saw this week was the Nayanthara documentary called Nayanthara Beyond the Fairy Tale on Netflix, which was a combination of shedding light on Nayanthara's personal journey, film career, rise to stardom, and finding love in the form of her husband, Tamil director Vignesh Sivan. While I had hoped for a deep dive on the trials and tribulations Nayanthara may have faced on this journey, a closer look at the vitriol and wrath she faced from the public in many instances and how she persevered from the same, the documentary barely brushes on any key transformative and moving details. This made me conclude that most Indian documentaries on public personalities or production companies in India at least are mere PR fluff pieces that are heavily curated and is mostly designed to celebrate the figure or company, entirely formulating into becoming a title meant for ambient viewing versus something that is moving. When you see the documentary like The Romantics with YRF or The Angry Young Man about the lives of Javed Akhtar and Salim Khan, they are merely created in order to celebrate the figures, and the battles and criticism flung their way are nothing but a footnote or a learning curve momentarily. This is in sharp contrast to documentaries on figures like Martha, Elvis Presley, or even Mr. McMahon from the WWE available on Netflix that asks the tough questions and makes the commentary more human versus just a heavily curated image of someone that is honestly just too good to be true. If you want to look at a wild documentary, by the way, check out To Hell and Back made by the BBC on Sanjay Dutt on YouTube. It is absolutely wild. Coming back, however, to public face-offs and beef, prior to the release of the Netflix title, Nayanthara made her grievances towards Dhanush known to the public, claiming that she had received a 10 crore lawsuit for using a 3-second behind-the-scenes clip from the film titled Nanu Rowdy Da, which Dhanush himself produced. In the letter addressed to Dhanush, Nayanthara not only pointed out the lack of cooperation and pettiness shown by Dhanush, who did not provide a no objection certificate for the clips from the film for about 2 years, but also insinuated a fake public personality of the actor in his audio launches prior to the film's releases. This was of course clearly a clash of egos, and while from a technical POV one might argue that it is legally or morally driven, let's not kid ourselves when we assume that an established star like Dhanush is genuinely desperate for a monetary payout like this. It's very clear that the drama stems from the lack of cooperation from Dhanush's part, and this just made the internet absolutely go wild. So much so that everyone forgot about how poor Kanguva was and became more interested about the history of this professional dynamic. What's sad regarding the case of social media and tiffs, especially involving women, is that these arguments become less about the topic at hand and transition to shaming and name calling. The graciousness of letting a 3-second clip exist goes out of the window, and the entire ordeal becomes about past relationships and how it is representative of each one's character. Social media loves to believe that all the infighting and drama is restricted within the confines of Hindi cinema, but this naive take is misinformed because the more you research about several industries and its problems, you'll realize that you have barely scratched the surface. Staying on the topic of Tamil cinema, Suchitra is an infamous dubbing artist and singer who is most recently known, well, for her explosive interviews, so much so that she says the craziest stuff, making me concerned that news channels mainly capitalize on the wild things she will say for clickbait headlines rather than actually being interested in her takes. The reason why I bring up Suchitra is because she had a similar traumatic experience to that of Chinmay to share about well-known lyricist and poet Varimuthu. While Chinmay claimed to be exploited by the established figure,
So Bhuna Session's career has been ruined because of this man, because of the power that he has, that he wielded to ruin her career, which I think in one very long wounded way has been done to me as well.
Suchitra spoke about how everyone in the music industry in Tamil Nadu had a horrifying tale to tell about this senior figure.
Every singer in South India, or at least in Tamil Nadu, has a Vairamuthu story because he's a systematic offender who calls every single rising singer and gives them the same bunch of dialogues.
This apparently also led to Chinmay getting boycotted from the industry for some time, even though she is still actively working as a singer and dubbing artist in both the Telugu and Tamil industries. While Veramuthu denied all these claims, he said publicly that Suchitra suffered from a disorder, all the accusations being a projection from this condition. Staying on the topic of the music industry, Hindi cinema post the pandemic really dealt with some heated drama post the demise of Sushant Singh Rajput. This is the time Sonu Nigam was uploading videos on his personal YouTube channel. Also a time where everyone was glued to the internet as they were cooped up in their own houses during the pandemic. Sonu Nigam outrightly said that an actor has died and that one day there will be a singer who will himself, insinuating that the real mafia exists in the music industry.
सुशांत सिंह राजपूत मरा है। कल आप किसी सिंगर के बारे में भी सुन सकते हैं। फिल्मों से बड़ा माफिया म्यूजिक में है।
Hinting these jabs at T-series and also mentioning a case of Me Too that became prominent during the same time when Marina Kuvar accused the T-series owner of harassment. This became a back and forth drama between the company and Sonu Nigam. While there would be musicians speaking about how T-series has launched various talent and they are grateful for the same, musicians supported Sonu Nigam on the dire state of contracts and the terrible financial situation of singers in India. Divya Khosla Kumar in an explosive video was visibly distraught and angry at the accusations flung her husband's way.
क्या है मी टू मूवमेंट? मैं लगा दूं आप पे मी टू तो मैं लगा दूं आप पे मी टू बोल दूं आप मी हो जाएंगे आप मी टू
making this entire scuffle and situation extremely uneasy and ugly. With Sonu Nigam and T-series having patched up with Sonu singing songs for Lal Singh Chadda, it seems like all water is under the bridge now and the Moo Bola brothers are jovial together. If you want to see the full breakdown of this drama in chronology and detailing, I would highly recommend the episode created by the boys there at YBP Filmy. Staying on the topic of Divya Khosla Kumar, we all remember the absolute social media lafda that was happening during the release of Jigra. Divya Khosla Kumar calling out the empty theatres on the opening weekend of the film, claiming for her concept of the film Savi being stolen while being diametrically opposite in pitch and screenplay. So much so that people started to weaponize Savi against Jigra, claiming to have seen the film and celebrated Divya's performance in the film. It became a clash of PR companies, curated comments, and a lot of venom flung everyone's way, cementing the statements of Akshay and Ajay most recently that the Hindi film industry really does not have any unity. While this is still about film's content where we can clearly tell whether something is plagiarized or not, or more importantly what the conflict is about, I still will never understand what really transpired on the sets of Dostana 2 and why the film got entirely shelved. In a statement made by Dharma Productions on April 16, 2021, which read, "Due to professional circumstances on which we have decided to maintain dignified silence, we will be recasting Dostana 2, directed by Colin D'Cunha. Please wait for the official announcement soon." This made people insinuate that there was a professional fallout between Karan Johar and Kartik Aaryan, both of whom held a dignified silence on the same, even though rumors spread with the media and they wrote several articles about Karthik's unprofessional behavior on set, making people assume that there seemed to be a conscious effort to malign the image of Karthik within the industry.
मैं सर उसके बारे में आज तक डिस्कस नहीं किया हूँ. मुझे एक्चुअली लगता है कि वो चीज़ आई थिंक जब हुई थी तब हुई थी और मैं तब भी साइलेंट था. आज भी साइलेंट हूँ उन बातों में.
While this still remains a mystery of what went really down between Karan Johar and Kartik Aaryan, Karan Johar is not a stranger to drama amongst members of the film industry. In the entire fiasco of the Kangana Ranaut versus Hrithik Roshan feud, where things about their personal life were aired in the public to the point of becoming extremely toxic, one claiming for this to be a relationship gone sour, and the other claiming for this to be a case of stalking, having not pursued anything personally, the feud that really became a commentary that took over film journalism for quite some time was between Kangana Ranaut and Karan Johar on the topic of nepotism, the lack of opportunities given to outsiders, and the cliquish nature of the industry. This especially became extremely heated when Kangana jokingly referenced Karan Johar as a villain in her fictional film she will eventually make.
You'll play that stereotypical Bollywood biggie who is very snooty and completely intolerant to outsiders and flag bearer of nepotism.
And post the release of the episode and the trolling Johar was receiving, he vehemently stated his case about what he feels about Kangana at that time, at least being the voice of the voiceless.
I'm done with Kangana playing the woman card and the victim card. I'm done. I mean, you cannot be this victim at every given point of time who has a sad story to tell about how you've been terrorized by the bad world of the industry. Leave it.
Speaking about the state of the film industry and even the content that is produced, an interesting public face-off, in my opinion, was when Samantha mentioned that she found the poster of a Mahesh Babu film to be extremely regressive. To which Mahesh Babu had replied that he knows Samantha really well and would have actually appreciated to be personally spoken to regarding the same. I still wonder about the creative call of having Kriti Sanon crawl in all fours behind Mahesh Babu, because it's far from a romantic aesthetic if they were really going for that. All of this, however, is nothing compared to the amount of public face-offs the three Khans have been involved in. Most recently, when speaking to Ashneer Grover on the episode of Bigg Boss, Salman Khan confronted the entrepreneur in the manner in which he described the business dealing and the amount paid to the actor.
तो मेरे को लगा 20 करोड़ का पंगा है, ठीक है, और 100 करोड़ मेरी जेब में पड़े, मेरे नेक्स्ट राउंड होगा नहीं होगा मेरे को नहीं पता, बट मैंने वो लिया पंगा, राइट, एंड मांडवाली कर लो ना यार. मैंने सलमान खान को बोला कम कर दे भाई, तो वो 4.5 में मान गया, राइट.
While Ashneer maintained a very casual, laid-back attitude while describing the meeting to an audience, his demeanor seemed to become way too demure in front of Salman, who claimed that the tone in the podcast may have not translated well. Essentially, intention versus the way they came out were two separate things.
जिस हिसाब से अब आप बात कर रहे हैं, वो जो मैंने आपको वीडियो देखा है, ये आपका एटीट्यूड वो वहां पर नहीं था.
Salman was quick to point out that the change of body language on the episode of Bigg Boss was far more accurate to how the original meeting went. When you are speaking about public beef, you can of course never forget about the infamous press conference held by Vivek Oberoi against Salman Khan, where he was adamantly calling out his uncalled for behavior off camera, and this was mostly met with ignorance and apathy by Salman, who in several occasions wanted to avoid even addressing the same.
विवेक ओबरॉय को आप सर हर चीज की एक्सपायरी डेट होती है सर.
The streets also will never forget about the infamous Star Guild Awards hosted by Salman in 2014, where he was found getting into rather playful yet uncomfortable arguments with the likes of musicians like Arijit Singh and Mithun.
सुला दिया यार तब से, और ये इसमें हमारा कोई दोष नहीं है, ऐसे गाने बजते रहेंगे.
However, the most infamous of all of these incidents, of course, involves the presumed fallout between SRK and Salman that led to years of animosity and fans wishing for a reunion and patch-up between the stars. While Shah Rukh Khan gave a self-reflective interview when featuring Alone on Coffee with Karan,
anyone who's loved me has a problem with me, then it's because of me. And on your show, I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to pick up a telephone and say sorry. I don't know how to say it.
Salman left it for the world to decide and manifest. Karan Arjun rose together, had a fallout, but thankfully reunited as Tiger and Pathan. While according to my personal observation, I still see a genuine warmth and love between these two stars, I've always felt there to be an undercurrent in the dynamic between SRK and Aamir Khan. At the peak of their careers, while one was promoting Three Idiots and the other was involved with the media interviews for My Name is Khan, this hatred almost seemed palpable. SRK having not so pleasant things to say about Aamir Khan's promotional tactics of going to Varanasi in disguise to promote Three Idiots.
Sorry to use this word, थोड़ा छिछोरापन होता है. And I don't think so कि एक लेवल पे आके फिल्म मेकर्स और I would like to believe हम भी उसी लेवल के हैं कि हम अपनी फिल्म की पब्लिसिटी करने के लिए छिछोरापन करेंगे.
At the same time, Aamir would write in his blog about his dog in his Panchgani house that is coincidentally also named Shahrukh.
अच्छा, जब मैंने घर लिया तो मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि मैंने एक घर के साथ साथ कुत्ता भी खरीद लिया. बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं था मुझे. तो जब मैंने कुत्ते को देखा, जो बड़ा हैंडसम कुत्ता है, हाँ.
Who are we kidding? But it seems like there seemed to be a lot of tension between these two in the late 2000s. Lastly, I want to speak about the most infamous episode of Coffee with Karan and not really shed light on what you may presume I want to talk about. The Deepika Padukone and Sonam Kapoor episode made all the rounds of the media. There was uproar and articles mainly because of what they had to say about Ranbir Kapoor, alluding to his Casanova and cheating ways. Deepika claiming for such infidelity to actually be a habit, something that caught Ranbir Kapoor off guard. But the validity of all of that aside, I actually wanted to speak about their take on Shobha Day, who had some appalling things to say about Deepika Padukone in her blog. This made me think about so many journalists who back in the day would physically shame actresses and they would get a free pass on the same. Nayanthara spoke about the fat shaming she received for Ghajni. I read a terrible article written where they spoke about how Sonakshi Sinha's never-ending forehead was causing the editor of Lotera a nightmare. Similarly, Shobha Day in her blog wrote, "If you ask me, Maxim has got its ratings completely wrong. Deepika P is the sexiest woman on earth? Are they kidding me? She would not even win a Miss Dombivali contest. No figure, no appeal, no looks." I wonder how these journalists would get away with such nasty statements, something for which Deepika had a pragmatic response of the responsibility that comes with the platform.
Even if you want to talk about their personal lives, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you don't talk about where so-and-so's come from, or she looks like she's come from this dirty little village from somewhere.
Is that what she said about you?
Yes. That's what she...
Where lies an opinion and where is it clearly intended for hurt and venom? And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you think about all the drama that is unfolding across industries. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.